And we are live. Hey everyone, it's Brian with Tiny Crypto Blog. Welcome to the weekly open mic, formerly the weekly summary. I figure, it needs to evolve because I don't really go into summaries. I just don't feel like it. I feel like going right into the meat of things, whatever it is, that's the big deal, and the topic of the week to talk about. I am recording here on the road. So, any background noises, I apologize in advance. But this week, what's the big chatter? So the last month or so, I've been talking about how, let's try this. I almost had it good. Now we got the mic. So what have I been talking about the last few weeks? I've been talking about how the one thing I've observed that stood out the most is how Bitcoin's scale is going to be growing exponentially from this base point. It's this week there was a What Bitcoin Did interview, and I'll try to remember to post the link in the notes. But what it was talking about was there were numerous points, but there was one point, and I quoted Peter McCormick on this one because it was a good one, which it said, Bitcoin, this is going to go up forever. And the only thing you need to worry about is your entry point. Because when you have something that's going to just keep going up and 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 up, where you get in along the way, how far ahead of the rest of the herd you get in, that's the critical point. That is what you need to consider and keep in mind. And I think it helped illustrate and expand on the concept, let's call it, of the way Bitcoin is going to scale. Because for the longest time, Bitcoin's been the domain of the nerds and the geeks and the cypherpunks and the freedom tech people and all of the advocates and all of the libertarians and the people who that core group that helped keep it going and growing and spreading the word and educating people and all of the people that make videos like this that help spread the word. And now that we've had the Bitcoin ETFs go live, the scale has expanded and grown, and we're going to see two things. One, the adoption is going to expand as far as just sheer numbers, whether it's through derivative products, which is sort of, you could think of that as leverage in a way, where you're not getting direct ownership, you're not getting direct control, the ownership of the Bitcoin, but you are getting access to. It's almost like, if you think of Bitcoins as it's essentially that. It's custodial control, custodial purchasing, custodial touching it through a custodian. And then you have the price, which is going to measure accordingly. And it's starting to click that in order for the price to scale up, the scope of adoption has to reciprocate, it has to match. And you're going to see that clicking. They're both going to click. And so we're going to see, because to go from 1 to 10,000, okay, retail can do that. From 10,000 up to 70,000, you're going to start to get bigger money. From 10,000 or 70,000, actually 35,000, get that up into the 100,000s. You need even a higher scale of money. And once you get to a certain level, you need that scale of exposure of money in order to scale it up. And we're just going to start seeing more and more of that on a bigger and bigger level. And each week, that's getting mentioned more and more often. And I make the point that when it comes to price, when it comes to adoption, whether it comes to whether or not someone is too late to Bitcoin, no. Because I think my new argument point going forward is we're only at 5%, we're at 5% adoption if it is not too late to get in. All that matters, as Peter McCormick said, is that entry point. That's all that matters when you're trying to get in there. So, something to think about. And this is a short one because it's a weekend and I'm taking it easy. And so, yeah, hope everyone's week is well. Got some new content on the way, little stuff. And then hoping to get something a little bit longer. But yeah, with that, I'm going to wrap this one up and say, be well, everyone, and talk to you soon.